whoever wins is gonna win big, baby.
Yeah.
They will go home with pockets full of money.
All right, episode 45. We had to get our facts straight. Brad's been on the phone here for the last 15 minutes. And I told Clayton, I said, if you're going to keep talking, I'm just going to hit live and you can keep talking. And he hung up real quick.
Yeah.
But
we don't want to get into another USCS situation. We talked about it last time.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
we just wanted to make sure we could talk to everybody.
Yeah,
we're
we're making sure this go around that there is no issues. So we're trying to talk to everybody. It was kind of late. We'll get into all that here in a
Honestly,
little bit.
if it was 9 o'clock, they'd still be here waiting for it. So
You think?
oh yes.
It's that. I didn't think it was that big a deal. But anyway, all right. Episode 45 was another thing. It took.
Get our comments pulled back up.
Okay, yeah. It took Brad a little while to get here. We had to find a rowboat, get him over here because it rained so much
I
today.
thought I was gonna have to this morning.
Yeah. I bet you had fun driving in it
Oh yeah.
today.
Down 59 ain't in Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty gnarly to say the least. It come a flood here for a while. I know the first thing I woke up to this morning, it was pouring down rain. It seemed like it didn't stop. But we're here
Soaked and
again.
wet 3 times today.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. It been a good day to ride on your track at the house. So Beau's built him a track at his house
Yep.
that we was riding on last night. Today in the rain would have been a lot of fun to do that.
Yeah, probably would have torn my yard up real good too.
Yeah.
I got a little mini bike track at the house.
Yeah.
Some of you guys want to come out and see what you're made of. Come on.
You wanna tell
My bike's now broken, but
Yeah. You want to tell them how it went down?
Brandon does have fast time right now around the track,
I think
dragging both feet.
I was. So I definitely was. 2 wheels is not my thing. That's very clear. But I think it was a similar situation to my qualifying efforts at the Outlaws show a couple years ago. Made me look a lot better than I actually was. I went out early.
Yeah, he went out early when the bike was fresh.
Bike was fresh. The brakes were not locking up on it, and I will say I only rode probably 6 laps, if that, around this place. It's pretty.
Yeah,
It takes over a minute to get around it.
It takes a pretty good bit. Yeah,
And,
it's a pretty technical course. We didn't even run the whole course last night because I had the RV was in the way and a bunch of other stuff was in the way.
We had to dodge cars and kids
Yep.
and everything
Yep.
else.
2 people hit the fence.
Yeah, Hadley didn't make it past the first turn. He hit the fence.
I mean, straight into it. Oh, it was terrible.
We had a good time. Nobody won any. I didn't win anything. I just bragging rights, I guess.
Yep, we had 4 guys make hot laps.
5, right? Brand,
4 or 5. 4 or 5
Brandon,
made hot. Well,
Ricky,
only-
Hadley, you, me.
Brandon didn't run for time.
That's right, he did.
So it's
didn't he?
only me, you, Ricky, and Noah. But by the time the bike I went last. By the time the bike got to me, it was hot. It's got drum brakes
Every
on
time.
it, and something
Every
broke.
time he tapped the brake, it would just lock up.
Full lock up. I went over the handlebars.
Yeah.
It's my bike, and I went over the handlebars.
My first laps on it. It took me a lap to get comfortable because the handlebars were sitting there shaking like that.
Yeah,
And I thought, oh god.
she's ragged out.
Caden was looking out the window. Her and Hannah, your wife, was sitting in the house, and she's like, he's gonna break his leg. And I thought, I thought the same thing. I thought, I'm gonna break my leg. It's race.
What happens
It's finally,
when you
it's
don't?
finally race
when
week.
you don't pick your legs up on a motorcycle
Yeah.
of any kind, that's when legs get broken.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking the whole time I'm riding this bike, I'm thinking to myself, it's finally race week, maybe, hopefully, not gonna get rained out, hopefully, and I'm gonna break my leg. I ain't gonna be able to go.
Yep,
So, still got quick down though.
he did by 3/10.
Yeah, 4.
I had 0 brakes
Yeah,
on the last lap. It's a technical track. It's not like you just go in a circle the whole time or something. It's
that gum sprint car racer got on a little road course on a bike
a
and
little
beat
road
him.
course, and he beat me.
But you know what? Them NASCAR drivers are the best. Am I right? But anyway,
As a NASCAR guy, you'd have beat me by like 10 seconds.
Oh god, you're gonna piss Brad off before we even get in here.
The 30 people that are watching right now, there's 30 people watching right now that have no idea what we're talking about from last week because there was only like 5 or 6 people watching. Now you have
Well, they all
about 35.
cut off. They all cut out. Even my own dad said, "Nope, I'm done," and he quit. He quit watching. Oh, but anyway, yep, that was fun. But now we're back again. We got another winner again.
Man, I know it.
The rookie extends his points lead. I
Yeah.
told him it's like Dale Senior. It's like the '80s. It's happening again. We got a rookie one year, and it's gonna be a champion the next.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went. Actually, Lane just texted me and said that he's done with ball practice. So call him whenever.
Okay, cool. All right, good.
So everybody start texting your friends. Lane Whittington's going to call on the show. The owner operator of Hurricane ASCS Series. Start telling all your friends he's going to be on here. But we're going to get to that in a minute. But yeah, we went up to Farmington over the weekend and had a normal day for once. No rain in the forecast. Went up early. Got to help Peanut. Just did our little thing. Load the car up. So when we got to the track, all we had to do was slap a right rear on. We were ready to roll. I've told y'all before, one of the cool things I like about going to Farmington is you never know who's going to be in the pit area when you get there.
Yeah.
And so we pulled up, and there's 2 guys from Australia that were there. And then Scotty Thiel was there, which, he started out on the Outlaw Tour this year. Of course, he got fired or whatever, but he was there running a car for Matt McGarry. I thought that was cool. First, I was like, son of a bitch,
Hey, well, when you're at one of the 7 weekly 410 tracks,
But then like,
that's a big deal.
Then once I think about it, I'm like, this is what I want. Like, I want good guys to, guys that have been on national tours. To
So you beat some Outlaw guys this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see some national guys come over and let's see what we got.
So you still at how old?
I'm me.
How old?
38.
38. So you still at 38 as long as you've been doing it. You still sit there and think, Scotty Thiel's here.
I think that about any time I go on the track. Like, we go at Farmington, like, we line up, and let's say Jeff Asher's in my heat race. Like, he's been racing there forever. I'm like, oh, great. Like, Asher's in my heat race. I still do that with anybody. Like, I don't think I'm better than, a lot of guys. When I get in the heat race, I think about, oh, man, this guy's behind, this guy's here, this guy's here. I remember saying this to Bubba Jones one time. We were in the same heat race, and I said there was somebody else in our heat. And I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, "Somebody's in our heat." He was like, "Well, yeah, you're in my heat too." And I was like, "Well, I didn't think about it that way. Like, I didn't think. I don't think people think of me that way. Like, I just don't.
They better look at them
I
points.
say they better.
I don't
They
think
have
people
to.
look at me like, "Oh, he's dying." I don't know why I don't put myself in that mindset, but. When I look at the heat race, I don't think anybody looks at the sheets like, "Oh man, Brad's in my heat race."
Brad is a very humble human being.
How many races?
It hasn't always been that way. All right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How many races you got left?
Let's pull up the old Instagram.
I don't know. We go till September 20, the end of September, so we got a couple months. I think it's like 10 or so races left in those.
What's the
months.
points lead right now?
We're at 67 now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Over?
so
67 over?
67 points.
67
Lead.
lead now.
Okay.
So yeah, we're now up to 67.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we ended up drawing a 91, which, like you said, that could be good or be bad. But we started last in the heat race, and so I felt like I could get a couple cars, and we got up to 4th, and we had a caution come out, so we got to bunch it back up, and I was able to get into 2nd in the heat race. We had another caution come up, and Scotty Thiel was leading the heat race. So I was like, all right, well we'll see where we stand at now, and I was able to hang right there with him in the heat. I mean, coming to the checker, I was, he was on the top, I was on the bottom, kind of like right off his back bumper. So I felt good. Like, I felt like we had speed and a good car to be able to hang, pretty close with him. Ended up going 6 to 2nd in the heat, which put us on the pole of the feature.
The whole time under the caution when they're calling out the receiver, Scotty Thiel's up there going, crap. 7's right behind
I'm about
me.
to tell you a story in just a second.
Okay. All right.
So we lined up on the pole of the feature and got out front, and the track wasn't as good as it'd been in previous weeks. It got pretty slick, which I knew it'd take rubber at some point. Like 1 and 2, you could kind of run slider line, and there was this moisture patch that you could pick up on exit. 3 and 4 was kind of the same for the most part. It was pretty slick. There was a little moisture patch you could pick up and get launched. And I ran that line for most of it. And then I could see we got to lap traffic, and I was able to put it right on the outside of them. And then we got to one lap car, and I saw him kind of like pull pull me a little bit. So I was like, all right, you could see it getting blacker. So I fell into line, fell down in there and got into there. I could feel the rubber at that point, which it took a good 12, 15 laps for the rubber to kind of set in really
That's something you
hard.
hadn't said all year either. Rubber.
Yeah, that's the first time that we've had the rubber down, and so I could feel it starting to take a little bit. So then we get into some lap traffic, and it's obviously it's pretty hard to get around cars when it gets rubbered up.
Yep.
And so I tried one more time to get around them on the outside, and it's washed up, and I could see a nose wing come on the inside of me. And like, oh my God. So I was like, I just chopped it off. I went down the back straightaway and just chopped it off, and we made another lap, and the next time he kind of got into my left rear a little bit. And so then we had a caution. Well, I could see it was a white wing. So we're going around the track, and I go in 3 and 4, and I try to just turn it sideways. And I want to see who it is. I'm like, who is it? Is Scotty Thiel behind me? Like, I'm trying to cut it so I can look and see who's behind me, but I couldn't ever tell who it was. So I was like, all right, just don't miss the rubber. That's all you got to do here. Just hit the rubber.
Especially after a caution.
Yeah,
Track's cleaned up.
And so, like, we get going again, and we come underneath the white flag. We're taking the white flag. Next thing I hear is caution, caution. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So then I'm really nervous. Like, you miss it now, it's over. So we
Well, how close had you made it to lap traffic though at that point?
when the white flag came out,
Yeah,
we were on them.
You were?
Yeah.
See, to me, I'd have been relieved.
But I felt better about the lap car being in front of me because I didn't think there was no way he'd be able to rip around me because the way the rubber was, I mean, you would just whoop, right around the bottom. So I felt a little better having somebody in front of me, honestly, because I could kind of judge to where we took that restart. I'm hauling ass down the front straightaway, and I don't want to overshoot the corner on the restart, going in a little too hard and things like that. So I just had to like calm myself down, like, all right, just because they held up the green white at the same time. I was like, just got to make one more lap here. That's how they're going to do it, is go green white, and then you'll come around for the checkered. Yeah. So I was able to stick it for one lap there, and able to get the win, and it felt good because there were some good cars there. They, out of towners, invaders, I guess if you want to call them, and and so yeah, it felt good to get the win because we've really been struggling since Peavey when we tore the car up.
Yeah,
and I told y'all we had to straighten the torque tube out. We put a new bar in there, and it just hasn't reacted the same since we've done that. And I felt like we were pretty dialed all night long. That was the most stick I've felt in the car since that night. So hopefully the track's not like that again. And, we'll work on a faster track setup. But if it does go that way, we got a good idea of what we need to do. And even I think if the track is fast, I think we can kind of work towards that away. Maybe not as aggressively, but go towards that way anyways. So I think we learned some stuff, and that fourth win of the season. So like I told you before, though, I'm not going to get too high with this high. Like, let's just go week at a time.
You got to win next week too.
Yeah. Anytime I get ahead of myself, like. We did the 360 win. We won Farmington, and I'm like, all right, we're good. We're going into Peavey, and I crashed on the first lap of the heat. So I just can't let myself get caught up on that stuff.
Next week it's 0 wins. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So
you're gonna win it.
That's the way
you hadn't won nothing yet.
That's the way I got to go into it. Is like not worry about what's been going on the week before, not get caught up in all that stuff, and just try to take it one race at a time and try to keep knocking them out. And, I definitely want to have the most wins I've had in a season has been 8, but really 7 because one of them somebody got disqualified and I was able to get 8. So I want to try to match that or better that as my goal for the year. So that's but I can't think about the goal. I can't think about what's done in the past. I gotta just take it like Beau said, one race this week we got no wins, and try to just focus on it like that. But yeah, we got a lot better, so I feel good about that. I think we got some direction we can work in, and but also at Farmington it was an awesome night. It was $5 night again, and it was also fan appreciation night. This is my first time I've ever done fan appreciation night, and it was awesome. Every car that was there comes onto the front straightaway. We started in turns 1, went all the way to 3 and 4, and they let the grandstands out, and everybody comes on the track. And,
nice.
They could walk, look at all the cars. We took pictures. I'd gotten someone to print me off 54 by 6 pictures, but I hadn't never done one before, so I didn't know how many to get. I got 50. Those things were out in 3 seconds. And I was
sign them all?
Huh?
You sign them all?
Yeah.
Dude,
I was like,
somebody's gonna have something worth some money.
Worth some money at the
end of this season.
And I had an envelope that they came in, and I was like, I got this envelope. You want me to sign it? And they were like, yeah. I was like, well, this is a one of a kind right here. There's no other envelopes signed out there.
Yeah.
Can we get some Outlaws to come to Farmington? I mean, can we just sprinkle? I know, well, have to be high limit because Outlaws aren't allowed to race too many times outside of their bracket. But I mean, with that we should get some high limit guys to come race at Farmington if they're ever in the neighborhood, get smoked up on, and maybe get you in one of these seats.
Yeah,
Look,
that's,
if you can go, much trash as I talked about drivers last week in general. If you can win, if you can lead points in one of the few tracks that has weekly 410 racing, I think that puts you in a elite crowd. I don't think that's average driver range
I
anymore.
was talking awful highly of
I mean,
you this
I
week
appreciate
compared to
it.
last
Yeah, I
week.
mean,
Yeah,
I'm just saying
that's what I said. Like that's why I said a minute ago. Like I like when guys like. Once I thought about it, I was like, well, I like Scotty Thiel being here because that's
all you need is a few guys,
People
a few
can't sit there
active guys to come hit the circuit, and you keep on winning. I mean, how long? There's only, what was it, eight active tracks, seven active
Seven, I
tracks,
think,
seven active weekly 410 racing tracks. There's too many eyes on the tracks here. There's too many eyes that are watching to not get noticed if you're in one of seven. And if you're leading, consistently winning at a track that is one of seven,
yeah.
people are going to notice.
Hey,
that.
Jeremy Elliott talks about it.
Well, I mean, people like to throw the knock on Farmington, like, oh, it's just Farmington, or oh, you just beat Farmington cars. But like those guys that race there, like Scotty and Jeff Asher and Corbin Keys when he's able to race.
Joe B. Miller comes.
Joe B. Miller. Well, I'm just saying local Farmington guys are there every weekend. Like those guys are there every week. But they got a ton of laps around there. They know that track like the back. Like Casey Birch comes, like he knows that track like the back of his hand. I'm going up there with 22 410 races under my belt on a track that I'm not that comfortable at yet. Especially like I talked about 3 and 4, and like I'm going against those guys that have been there every weekend. So it's not. I'm just showing up because I've raced against Derek Hagar and Howard Moore, and like I'm just supposed to go win. Like these guys got that track dialed and they know what they're doing there. They even got guys come up like Brian Brewster. He watches the show sometimes, but like he's fairly new, but he's starting to make really solid laps. Like he's not just the guys you just like, oh, I got this passing point tonight.
I'd hate to know what you're going to be like if you're not comfortable yet.
Well,
I mean, dang, you're not comfortable with it yet.
I'm not.
I mean, dang.
Really not. I really don't feel just locked in. Like when I get in the 360 car, like I got a good idea what I'm gonna feel and all these things, and I still just haven't feel totally comfortable, especially even at Farmington. Like I said, it's just like we talked about. It's really technical.
Yeah.
You really got to drive it and stuff, which is the cool part about
That's what
it.
makes it fun.
But it's also a very challenging racetrack. That's like you just don't just show up and go rip good laps there, all the time. That's what makes the guys that run there a lot. That makes them so good there is because they got a ton of laps there, and they kind of know where to be and how to be and what it's going to do and all those things. So I got a lot of respect for the guys that run Farmington every single weekend because they got good. There's guys over there that got good cars, good 410s and good cars, and like there's some older cars out there, but they got some guys that got some top notch stuff, and so like I said, I enjoy the challenge though. Like it's something new and it's something different. I really liked the challenge of it all.
Yeah.
So if you got in a seat with a crew chief that could give you the car that would feel the same way or similar ways on any surface, you think you could be competitive? You think that translates track to track? I'm not asking you like if you could be competitive, more so just if you could get somebody that could put you on any track and have the car feel close to similar, like how you like it. Yeah. Would that make you competitive at any track?
I mean, I'm not trying to be cocky, but I feel like I think we all think we probably could at some point. But I think I could. Honestly, I've thought about this a lot. Like, could I even actually do it? I would love the opportunity just one weekend to go against some of the, I'd love to go like Attica, Ohio and run against some of those guys with one of those cars up there and see if I could do it.
Yeah.
But like when even, like I'm always really good with working with a crew chief. Like when I've driven for, Mike Hampton, he set the car up and I was pretty good. And like anytime Brian Beau comes and helps me, like I'm always feel really comfortable and I'm always really fast. Anywhere we've been to with Brian, like I felt really good. And but Brian still helps me over the phone, but still when I do it, I don't know, something about him just being there just gives me more confidence.
Eyeballs on it.
Like, he can, like I send him videos But when he like physically has his eyes on it, watching it, like I just feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And I feel more confident in it when I go out there when he's actually there watching it.
Yeah.
You know, so I would love to work with somebody that sets it up, and I just got to think about one thing, and that's driving it. That's when I feel like I'm at my best, is when I'm not thinking.
Well, are you though? Because you're currently winning races and you're setting the car up yourself.
Well, yeah, I know, but Brian's even told me before. He's like, when we watched the video, he's like, you always take 2 or 3 laps before you get going, and I'm like, yeah, because I just don't trust what we've done. But when he's there, like I'll get more aggressive on the starts.
Yeah.
And or like even when I was working with Mike, and I would just tell him, don't tell me what you did, because I don't want to know. Because when I go out there and look at the track and I know what you've done, then I have this idea in my head of what I think it's going to do, and it might not even do that. But if I don't know, I just go in there and I'm more aggressive on the starts and more aggressive where I run.
Yeah.
And so I'm always been better when I don't know what's underneath the car.
Well, unless your name's Aaron Reitzel, which I didn't know this. He got crew chief of the month last month. Did you see that?
Yeah, those.
You know, there's the racer's a lot different today than it used to be. Like, you know, used to drivers knew everything about their cars, knew everything about what to do. You know, they made the calls. I think today it's so competitive that the driver almost needs to 100% be focused on just driving the car and everything he's got to do to make that car go fast.
Because I mean, like when Brian's not there, it is stressful. Like, cause I got to go up there, look at the track.
Yeah.
Well, he watches the video and stuff, but then the track will change throughout the night. And I'll like send him videos of what it's looking like, or I'll tell him like, hey, I think it's doing this, and we'll discuss it. But still, he doesn't have his physical eyes on it, and so it still makes me kind of question.
Your notebook isn't deep yet. I mean, you're 22 races into a 410.
And I've always been bad about not taking notes either. I've started doing it this year. Like I got a little notebook filled up, but now we're kind of starting over because when we tore up at Peevely, like I said, a lot of that stuff was previous. So now we're kind of like starting over again.
And you got and even if you had 150 races that you were judging this car off of, and you had the surfaces kind of lined out, then even with the changes, like all that translates a little bit. It may not be exactly right, but if you've got 10 races here and you got to start over or whatever with a wreck car, new parts on the car, that doesn't leave you, like, you can legitimately throw those 10 races out.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough data there to even compile some sort of a pattern to even try on the new car. So
So it
junk it.
Sounds like if competitors are listening to us right now, there's 2 things you need to do. You need to go find every phone they have and start smashing them, or go tie up Brian Bell somewhere at his house. Make sure he can't answer the phone. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. But it was, like I said, let's just kind of cap it off. Like, just talk about their fan appreciation night. Like that was really cool, and I would like to see that. Riverside try that one night, because it was the fans. I talked to a few people that came up, and I was just like, have you ever been here before? They're like, no, this is our first time. I said, well, you're enjoying yourself? They're like, oh yeah, we really enjoy it. And I was like, well, I hope you guys come back. They were just kind of like, well, for sure we'll be back. Like we were all sitting around talking about the track, and like, oh man, it sucks that the track is like this for those guys, but they don't know any different. They don't know what a good track's supposed to be compared to a bad track. They're just seeing like cars going fast and sliding and all those things. And I think we lose sight of that sometimes, that they don't know any difference.
Well, you get used to it. It's like anything else.
A good night at the track for a racer is not always. It doesn't always correlate with a good night at the track for a fan. And it could be you winning a race. I mean, it result in a great night for you, may result in a bad night for the fan. You never know.
And
2 different worlds.
And another thing, like I liked about the fan deal is, so we stopped on the front straightaway after you win, and like all the fans stayed. They didn't get up and start leaving. They stayed for the B mods that were coming out next. I thought that was cool. Like they're obviously having a good time. I guess they want to stick around and see, what else happens.
What time was it when the race ended?
Well, that kind of got drug out a little bit because the fan experience thing.
Right.
Because there were so many people out there.
That's why I was asking. I was curious.
It was like so many people. You couldn't just be like, all right, get off the track. Because they kind of wanted to do it fast at first, but so many people come out. I think we were probably out there a good 45 minutes.
Really?
But I mean, if we got to sacrifice a little later of a night for them to have it a good experience, want to come back, like I'm all for that. Like I don't mind.
The fans in the stands, what's going to keep the track alive.
I don't mind making a little sacrifice if we're going to do that. I don't mind taking a longer intermission if we're going to do something like that. Then I'll support that all the time. So it was really a successful night. But he did. I will give him his respect as well, Bub. he came to us at the drivers meeting, face to face, manned up to us, and was like, here's our deal we have going on. Is everybody else who has owned this track previous, they've had a business to kind of back them and float them, but him and his dad are the ones that have taken over. Like, we're relying on the track like to make us money to do this. And he said, and they didn't take over till 6 or 7 races in when that whole situation happened. Then they've only had it for about 3 weeks now, I guess. 3 races they've been able to run. I think we had 2 rain outs since then. Yeah. And then it ended up being like a $5 night, regular night, rain outs, and $5 nights. So the $5 nights kind of came pretty close together in the whole thing. And he's like, I'll just be honest with you guys. Like, he told us the situation, like, we do this as a race. We don't have a business to back us up type of thing. And he says, so, I just want to be upfront with you guys. Listen, he said, if you want to talk to me after this, or you want to call me, you want to message me, I'm available anytime. I'll talk to anybody, anywhere. He's like, just don't go on the internet dogging me out. Just come to me. Just tell me what you guys say to my face, or call me. We'll talk about it. He said, we're going to have to start doing a sliding pay scale, because the first 2 weeks, like, he's like, it hasn't even been close. But they've had good crowds and good car counts too. And he was like, we haven't even been close.
$5 a fan, it cuts that stuff.
The $5 fan, that hurts. Yeah. That's why them 2 $5 nights close together is not ideal. But he was just straight up with us, face to face, like, we're going to do a sliding pay scale. But I don't think it's really going to be that massive of a deal. Maybe for stock cars, because they get between like 10 to 12 most weekends. They might be the only ones get affected. Like, their modified car counts are good. We get between 16 to 20 pretty much every weekend.
Well, the good news is when you're racing for $150, I mean, what you get 50, you get $100
like,
out
and
of it.
most of those guys that come there,
y'all are racing for fun anyway, boys. Don't forget that.
And like, most of those guys that race there are pretty close by. Like, they don't have to travel long ways to get there. Yeah. Like, I just respected them coming, out the drivers meeting face to face.
Full transparency.
They're like, hey, this is what's going on. And he said, come talk to me after this. Come find me during the night, anytime. We'll discuss it. Whatever you need to know, I'll let you know what we got going on here. And they are trying. Like, they do love that place, and they want it to, like, he grew up over there. He wants it to survive. So, he's trying to do everything he can to keep it that way and keep it running. And so, like, you're going to give, and he does run it really well. Like, you can tell that he loves it and wants it to work out. If you're going to do that, then I'm like, listen, I'll work with you, and I ain't going to get on there and complain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I said, just give them some chance too. Like, it's only their 4th time, 3rd or 4th race to be doing this. Like, they're trying to, get it all together, and the transition period and all the stuff they've been doing. So yeah, like I said, I respected them coming out saying that. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be a massive issue, because we average pretty good car counts over there anyways. But you still have people that say, I'm not coming back because they did this, but they don't tell the part of the story where you never get below those car counts. It never drops. I think he said it was 15 was the threshold for sprint cars, but I've never been over there when it's been less than 15 cars.
Yeah.
So like, you don't tell that part of the story type of thing, and that's part of the story that should be told. If you're gonna get on there and on the internet and say, we're not coming back. We burned up some tires. We burned up tires, and we don't make enough money, so we're not coming back. Well, you got to tell I know he wasn't there, but you got to tell the story about the previous weeks when the track was good and it was dialed, and they had a little circumstance this weekend because the Ray Marler Memorial was going on at I-55, and the guy that works the track is family, maybe his son. And so he was over there doing that race for his dad, so he wasn't able to work the track. So those type of circumstances that don't get told, but then they get put onto Facebook, and nobody knows the back story, the details of it all, and they haven't been there every single weekend. Don't mess it up for everybody else. If you don't want to come back, fine, just don't come back. You ain't got to get on there and talk about him sliding the pay scale. He told everybody to your face, like, hey, this is what's happening. He didn't sneak up to you at the pay window and say these things, And that's the type of stuff that...
He did it before the night ever even started.
Yeah, it's like, that's the type of stuff that just puts us into a hole, because, like, hey, we're all trying to race. Everybody's trying to make it. Track's trying to make it. I get it. It's all expensive. But, like, let's not beat each other up and put us both into the hole,
Just remember, if you're a dirt track fan or a dirt track racer, don't get your panties in a wad because Jim Bob got his panties in a wad because he sucked on Saturday night. Nobody cares that he finished last anyway, so we don't care that he didn't get any money. He's a loser. If he needs money, he needs to win.
So don't go talking about it. Don't. I think we.
And there's Jim
as
Bob is
the-
not a real. This is just this is seriously
I will say,
hypothetical. Don't
Jim
think
Bob
anybody
is. He is.
Don't think
or Joe
anybody is a
Bob, whatever.
Jim Bob. Like, we're not trying to insinuate Jim Bob is somebody.
But
that's
we
raced.
do. I mean, it's not been as bad this year, but last year, half of our podcasts were because a bunch of Jim Bobs on Facebook. And you know who you are. You made the board. I mean, come on.
Which arguably made it kind of exciting.
It did make it exciting, but and the cool thing.
That was our biggest
I was
show.
about to say,
Yeah.
we don't really see a lot of Facebook drama. Not as much as we did. I think
It's
because
because we cut it out.
but I think we started putting knives to throats here.
My point is not Riverside's a bad example because even the people that do the most complaining are there every weekend,
Oh, yeah.
except for Ronnie. He did take a little break, but he's back now.
He's at the beach right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
having
he's
a vacation.
Yeah, he's
he
got
won.
his
He
feet propped up
won.
on
So
the
he's
beach.
like, I'm out.
He won. He won it. And he said, "I'm gonna take my prize money and I'm going to
Yeah.
the beach."
Yeah, he's in the comments.
Yeah,
so he's
that's-
watching.
is he?
I
He's
saw
watching
you
on the
comment.
balcony of the
What's
beach. or
up,
something
Ronnie?
right
Yeah.
now.
Glad you're here. But we got a responsibility as fans. I mean, ignore it. You know these people are being. You know Jim Bob is retarded, and he is gonna spread his junk. Who cares? Show up and see if it's true. Like, don't take it on Facebook and say, I'm not going this weekend because Jim Bob burned his tires up. He didn't make no money last week. Well, Jim Bob finished last again. Like, you don't hear the guy. You don't hear Brad talking about the money he lost this week. You know why? Because he won the race.
Also, I didn't spend any money. So,
Either way,
I don't think I'm a great
but look,
example.
his drive,
That's not a great example.
his car owner wants to go back.
Yeah.
They want to go back.
yeah.
Why? Because Brad is doing a good job. Even when he doesn't win, his car owner wants to go back.
Yeah.
And then the other guys, the other locals that are showing up every week, I mean, I know it's a hobby. They do it for fun. That's what they do. They've got a budget for it, I'm sure, but they're not on Facebook talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I think just for example, it's like my car owner and his grandson. They just kind of adapted to the situation. They got in with a team. They get all their used tires for like $50 a piece, and so
Yep.
we'll run those. They're still pretty good shape. We'll run those unless it's like Queens Royal come
He's
up.
bought tires from us.
Yes, like that. We bought tires from Brandon and whoever else. And when like if it's a big race, like Queens Royal comes up, Beau shows in town in a couple of weeks, he'll buy new tires for that. But other than that, like we run the used tires that probably been on the track maybe twice.
Yep.
And you get them $50, and you can get you a. We've had this year though. We've ran the same left rear and right rear for like 2 weeks in a row because the track was really good and it wasn't eating them up. And so yeah, that's kind of how he's just adapted and made it happen.
Yep, that's what you got to do. A lot of people don't want to adapt. They just want to complain and talk bad about tracks. And we just got to ignore it. I mean, we can put them on the board, but what's the point?
No.
There's too many Jim Bobs. Fill the whole board up, Jim. Jim Bob will make the list next week, I promise.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Peanut Brandon, if you're listening, I still got tires back here for sale if y'all want some. All right, we'll briefly tackle the Outlaw stuff that happened this past weekend. But Kofoid was winner both Wednesday and Thursday night. Kind of expected that. It's kind of been like his playground for a little while now. He's been really showing out there. Man, you're talking about the tracks, like complaining about, the track taking rubber and stuff. Farmington, all 4 nights. The worst race of the weekend was the 300,000 finale.
I know.
We don't want to sit
It's
here
almost
and
like
dog.
it's rigged, I'll be honest.
Well, we don't want to sit here and dog. We don't want to.
I mean, look, hold on, wait a minute. They want to spend all week showcasing this aerial view of this shop that's over here, and then the guy goes and where's he at? Where's he at all week?
Has the sponsor on the side of the
Yeah,
car.
where's he at all week? And then on the big night, he runs off with it.
He won the dash. So we're talking about David Gravel. David wins the 300,000 finale. On
Brad,
Saturday
post
night.
that picture. The grass is definitely greener.
It was greener. It really was.
And man, so I don't understand. The racetrack was perfect every night. The racing was great. Now this is a pretty narrow place. I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did.
so-
You mentioned it.
Yeah, because we did the show Thursday night, last week.
that's
so
right.
they had already
We were
raced
already
on
talking
Wednesday.
about it. Yeah.
But it was super racy. All the first 3 nights, and then Saturday night they worked the fire out of this place. And I mean, it was one lane for like the first, 15, 20 laps? You
Yeah,
know?
I just think they ran on it too much. I think 4 days is too many days. Just do Friday, because most of your fans are coming Friday or Saturday regardless.
Yeah.
Just do Friday, Saturday, pay the big money, and have a good racetrack with a good race. Because that dirt's always, they even put new dirt on it, but it's still notoriously bad.
Did they put it on this year or last year?
This year.
Was it this year?
It's this year. It's
I
new.
couldn't remember if it was
And
this year.
it's still like notoriously bad for taking rubber at a certain point. I just think 4 days, just the track was beat down. There was nothing they could probably have done to get it to that point. It's just the dirt's not good enough to run 4 straight
Sounds like a
days.
David Gravel fan to me.
Okay, if that's
I don't
true,
think.
I mean, I can see that. That's logical. But he ran off.
Oh yeah, I mean, once
Well,
you
I
get
mean, his track was single
top
file.
of track,
I
there
mean, it
ain't
was
much
hooked
you can
up.
really do.
It wasn't exact. I mean, they were still racing around each other from second back.
Yeah, but
I
you
mean,
put,
there were
you
groups.
put gravel out front. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he
a
had
very
he had
different
clean air and
class.
got away. I mean, he had the first half
That's
of the race.
true. He did have the clean air until
Yeah.
he caught traffic, but
Yeah.
then nobody ever caught him again.
No, he was. I mean, he was gone from the stop, drop of the green
rigged.
flag. But yeah, what was it? The billion. What was the sponsor? What was it?
Billion Auto.
Billion Auto, whatever was the sponsor of the event. His
I
garage
think that's
is right
all
there on the
part of. I
racetrack.
think that's all Todd Query and stuff.
Yeah, I
Billion
think it is,
Auto
too.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's-
yeah,
that's
it does
good,
look kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean,
You
and
know,
he's
but-
it's not like he's like battling it out for the wins the other nights. He's not in the picture. There was one night that he was
He
kind
was,
of up
well,
there.
he was just
fifth or
so-so.
something.
He was just kind of
Yeah.
so-so the whole weekend. Like Buddy's just killing him, and then who was it one Friday night? Hot and Shield.
Yeah, Hot and
you know,
Shield.
Hot and Shield. Hot and Shield doing Hot and Shield things, hammering around the top. You know, pretty sketchy. And then, like I said, the track was it was great all week. And then Saturday night, it was like the Chili Bowl when the Chili Bowl was 55 laps and they worked the crap out of it. And then the first 30 laps, you're just sitting there riding around the bottom, not going anywhere, not doing anything. And then your last 25 laps was the best part of the whole race,
Yeah.
you know. But that's just kind of what it gave me
Well,
Chili Bowl
it
vibes.
never got to the best 25 at the end. It just
Can
there
we-
wasn't even, how many cautions were there?
I don't know.
I don't even think. I can't
There
remember.
may not have been one at all. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I didn't get to watch them live, obviously. I don't
Yeah.
have Dirt Vision, but I
Yeah.
did watch all the replays.
I can't remember.
I
Just
don't
sitting here off the top of my head. But
I watched too
Can we
many.
talk about the fact, and maybe it's not a big deal to y'all as it was to me, but like I watched Buddy get out. He wins. I said something on Facebook about this. Like, think about this, guys. If you won 150 grand and you just beat the best in the business to do it, do you even smile? Like,
Depends
are you
on how much
smiling?
my owner gets.
It doesn't
Because
matter.
it may be he may be getting his $25 check at the end of the week, like he always gets.
I doubt it.
Whatever.
He probably gets 50%.
I'm about to say they probably split it 50 or even 46.
never
Either
know.
either way you look at it, still you get out of the car, you win 150 grand, and I mean, not even just a yeah, I just did that. No big deal.
I mean, I guess it's hard for me to say because I've never been out there and done it at his level before, like consistently through years and years. But I thought about that too because you see some of those guys. I've seen them before go, like say Rico goes and wins an All-Star race, and he'll just get out and just go, woo, like no big deal.
Yeah.
But like for us, if we'd have won an All-Star race, like
Oh,
at
yeah.
5,000, I'm on top of the wing.
I'm up there. Oh my gosh! I just
Yeah, I
can't
guess-
control myself. You know.
Yeah, I guess they kind of just get like disconnect. I guess I don't know, but like for me, I don't feel that way. Because like even when I won in Bobby's 305 a couple years ago, like I was excited. Like there was only 8 cars there, but like I still won and was excited. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I just always wanted to win sprint car races.
It's still hard.
I
I
don't
mean,
care-
whatever
I don't care
you
if it
do,
was
it's still hard.
305, 360. Like I just wanted to win sprint car races.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of grew up. So I still get pumped when I win 360, 305. Like I still get excited. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just kind of can't put myself in his shoes though, because I haven't been at that level. Before,
I mean, the
but-
guy gets out. I mean, he barely cracks a smile
I know, he's just
the
kinda like-
whole time. He's just like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, it is. It is strange.
Yeah.
I've noticed they all type of stuff do that. It's just like Knoxville Nationals. They'll get up there on the wing, but it does feel like they're told, like, hey,
I'm not.
go up and celebrate.
I'm
or
not
whatever.
saying everybody needs to get out and act like Jason
Well,
Johnson
yeah,
won the
yeah,
Knoxville
yeah, I know,
Nationals
yeah,
every
I
time.
agree.
Now that was cool, but I mean he won Knoxville Nationals and he beat Donnie Schatz to do it, and I think he was the only one to beat Donnie.
That's
What like a 10-year span? So I could see that, but like
That's one of the things I like about Sam is Sam's been doing it. Sam Haverty,
Yeah.
he's been doing it for a long time.
still,
And
gets
even when he
excited.
gets out, like he's pounds on the top wing.
Yeah.
You know, he's won hundreds of 360 or ASCS races, but he's still pumped up when he wins another one.
Yeah.
Because it's fun to win.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard for me to relate because I haven't been in his position. But like I think about a guy like Sam who's done a lot in racing. He's done the outlaw tours. And
He
all that
sure ain't
stuff.
won no 150,000 to win race.
Yeah.
And if I can just imagine Sam. Like,
I know,
that's a
yeah,
great
he'd be-
example.
yeah, he was-
Sam's won a ton of races. And I can imagine if Sam was to win
Oh, he'd have been
150,000,
freaking.
he'd
pumped,
been doing
yeah.
backflips.
I'm gonna give
on the right rear.
I'm gonna give my opinion as a non-racer.
Oh boy,
So
I got you in trouble last week. Let's see.
I
where
had
this goes.
never raced a car, but I have raced.
Yeah.
And for me, winning, or even in ball sports, winning was cool. Like I don't think you can relate winning a game to like if you score a goal, hit a home run, score a touchdown, something like that. It's kind of like the same. The doing it was always the fun part for me. Like after the goal was scored, it's like that was cool. I want to do the scoring again. It's
Yeah.
not really after the win happens. Who cares? When I'm racing, the race, if it's a race, I mean, a lot of times I'm just I run, or I used to run more than I do now. I won't claim it now, but the race was against me in the race, or if I got to run against somebody like they were on the trail with me, and I had to actually battle them out. That was the fun part. Winning was just like it was over. The fun was over after the win.
Well, I was pretty excited when I beat your time last night. You kidding?
I mean, you should be. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have thought I won the Brickyard 400 last night or
Yeah,
something.
I mean,
Like, I was
he
excited.
walked the bike around. The fact he beat me was a big deal.
I did.
But that kind of thing, like I had more fun running. I don't care who wins the fastest lap. It's my yard. I just go out there and practice some more. I got the track. I got the keys to the track. I'm gonna go out there and run it when I want to get better.
Yeah.
But running it was the fun part. So I don't know. I don't know. I may never get the opportunity to win a race in a car, but I
was
can
told
kinda-
today. I was told today, by the way, that you might have a sprint car ride if you really want one bad enough.
man, I'd really like to trade it for a stock car ride.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
We'll
goodness.
see. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't know if that relates to when you throw 150 G's on it. I mean, that's what he does, though. He may love. I could see where he loves racing so much he's disappointed the race is over.
No, no.
He did say in a podcast he was on that if he could race every day of the week, he would. He's like, he just loves racing. He doesn't care where it's at, who it's with. And he just likes to go racing. He said, they kind of made the point, like 86 races, that's a lot of races. He said, I'd run 150 if I could every year. He's like,
Dude, that's what it's. I mean, that gets my heart going a little bit there. I remember as a kid being in the neighborhood, like I want to race everything. I want to race bikes. I want to race go-karts. I want to do like if I could find enough buddies to run hot laps and just time them, time laps.
Yeah, like we did last night.
Yeah, we would have done that.
Yeah.
But nobody in the neighborhood wanted to race me after they lost. So
like Scott just said in the comments, when Dale wins, I'm as excited as he is. I put a lot of work in on that car myself. I remember something similar to that, and I went out for a little 3-day race trip with Jarrett Roller, and he won one. Like I was freaking pumped, like I just won the race too.
yeah,
Like,
that's how it feels.
we
Crewing.
work on it like all day.
Yeah.
We wash it all day, work on it all day, go to the track, and then you end up winning. Like you feel like I feel
Look,
like I was just in there with
that
him.
night you wrecked. I hadn't even.
There were several of those. Which
I hadn't
one?
even told.
Clarify.
I don't even think I told you this, but that night that you wrecked into Howard,
Okay.
or y'all got pinched and
Yeah.
whatever. When because that dip in one was bad that night. That's all I'll say about that. But when you hit it the first time, and the car looked like a Cadillac going across it, I got to shaking right then. I was
Yeah.
like, just the nerves. I looked at your dad.
Yeah.
He didn't say nothing. He's just sitting there, stone faced, just watching.
Yeah.
I know,
I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's gonna be good.
I was anxious too because I gave you a little bit of tips on how to get up in there above it and told you what I would do with the car if I was in it.
Yeah.
And then you were really fast. I was like, oh,
the highs and the lows that night.
Yeah.
The highs and the lows that night hit because I knew from that first lap going around. I can still feel it now. That excitement building up.
I'll give you a real quick story like that. Like my dad didn't race go-karts very long, but it was so much fun. I had probably just as much fun watching Dad race as I did racing myself. So I feel pretty similar. And Dad went to he won 2 go-kart races, and one was at Atoka. They had like a delay. This kid got he had to be airlifted, so we waited like 2 hours for
that's a
for a
long
helicopter to get there, go pick him up and leave before we could continue racing. And all these guys go back to their trailers and they're working on the carts, they're changing stuff. It's getting cooler, it's getting dark. Dad never left. He's sitting there in the go-kart, just laying there half asleep. And I'm like, are you gonna change anything? He's like, no, not. I'm not gonna fool with it. We never worked on his go-kart. Okay, he was there for me. You know, he was just working on my stuff. That man went out there, and I mean, when I say wore them out, he wore them out. The track came to him, and I mean, he had 2 pounds of air in his left rear when he left the grid, and he's like, oh, it'll be all right. And, I mean, he went out there, and I mean, he murdered them. And he tried to mimic the 2 pounds of air in the left rear, and it never worked. But I had so much fun watching that race, and then it was a similar race at Boonville. In a champ cart. Matter of fact, Cody Burks was leading the race. He's been gone a while now, but Cody was leading that race, and Daddy started like mid-pack, and he got to second quick. And every time he got to Cody, he'd mess up. You know, he'd miss his line, overdrive a little bit, and then he'd have to run him back down. And I mean, he would try knocking the crap out of him, trying to move him. He never could do it. He finished second, but like, he won another. I think there was another race he won. But yeah, I had just as much fun though watching Dad race as I ever did. So I can kind of relate a little bit to that. But anyway, where was we going with that?
It doesn't matter. Let's go to. You got anything else you want to talk about? People are starting to clamor for. Let's talk about Riverside.
Yeah.
You want to talk about High Limit real fast, or?
Is there anything you can really talk about? Because it wasn't High Limit, it was NARC.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
NARC. Sorry,
Yeah, it was NARC.
Yeah,
I mean,
100 grand. So
Yeah.
It was high limit.
it was only
racing,
$100,000.
but
all
you
the
know?
races were better at Skagit than they were at Houston.
Exactly. Well, the Saturday night one, I'd argue
Saturday
that
night
I'd
was
argue
good.
the other ones were just as good. But the Skagit,
Oh, true. Yeah.
yeah. But Skagit was really dang good. Jet Barnes, Jet didn't really do anything wrong when he was trying to pass Rico. It was like 2 laps to go. Was it Friday?
Oh, he threw a bomb in there.
I mean, he threw a bomb, but I mean, he pretty much had cleared him.
Well, I mean,
What about-
Yeah, it's easy
speaking
to
of-
say that in slow motion, but if you sped that video up, I guarantee you it didn't look nothing like it did in slow motion.
Yeah.
Video.
Oh,
Send
I'm not saying he didn't send it.
Send it. That's
My-
all I
my
gotta
funny
say.
funny thing for me about the whole thing is seeing people share or comment on that video. Look at Rico.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to check on him. I was like,
that
"Are
dude
y'all stupid?"
that dude is going over to that kid
Yeah,
out.
see, he did. He said it in the
Y'all-
comments. So he went over there. He's like, I asked him if he was okay, and I told him that was pretty dumb. I know you're young
Yeah.
and all these things, and you want to win, but that was dumb. Now we're both crashed.
I'm gonna say that's not exactly how he put
I
it.
was like,
either.
Rico went over there and told him what he thought about that.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to check on
Yeah.
Did y'all see Rico's June Pride shirts that he released today or this past week?
No.
He got some rainbows on his dang shirts.
He
and
does a
released it.
retro.
Yeah,
he
it's
does a retro release every year.
retro release, and it has a big old rainbow on. I'm like, June was a bad month to launch that one, buddy, because
It's kind of like
it's a little pretty to me.
it's kind of like having Juneteenth on the same weekend as Father's Day. Kind of like that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the same type deal.
Yeah. But Brett Marks won. Correct. Was it the Friday night show? I think
I think it's Friday.
it was
Yeah.
Friday, and then Saturday it was.
Sweet one.
Won it handily. I'll say that.
Yeah. It was. Both were pretty good, pretty dang good races.
Yeah.
One thing I did like about Skagit, what they do different, they restarted on the back straightaway, and it
Yeah,
made
that
like
was
some
weird.
really good restarts. though.
It was really weird. I saw the first start and I thought, oh, that's getting called back. I didn't realize that that's what they were doing.
They restart on the back straightaway, and the restarts are always entertaining because
Yeah.
people, if you spin your tires up, you get a bad start.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, by the time they made it to turn one, I mean, they were getting after it, and it was,
Yeah, I
it
know.
was good.
You can make passes on the restarts like that. I really like. We used to do that. I-30 Speedway used to do it on the
Yep.
back straightaway all the time. It was a little different though. We kind of started. We didn't really. Well, maybe it was a little similar, but not quite
Yeah.
as much as the Skagit was. But you kind of had to get right there to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Skagit was really good. It's just so far up there. It's hard for them to get. They did get a good crowd Saturday, but it's just so far in the middle of nowhere up there that they really struggle to get crowds for like weekly shows and things. But of course, you got Kevin Rudine.
I say Kevin Rudine supposedly
Going
pay a
on,
lot of these
yeah,
guys
so-
to come and like $12,000 for all these guys to go
Yeah.
and race, which they're supposed to be there again. Where are they at this
They got to
week?
be in Montana
Montana.
this weekend, so
Yeah.
they were heading that direction anyways.
Yeah. Because I had asked Brad, I'm like, why did all these guys pack up? They were at Husets. Why'd they pack up and go? I didn't realize that they were being paid to do it, but makes a little sense. All right. I know everybody's eager to go, so we'll go ahead and get into it. So we got Lane waiting for you and call him, right?
Well, you know more about. This is kind of. I guess we could explain what we've heard, maybe,
Yeah, okay. So
and then I can call him, and he can talk.
originally, Beau and I had talked about going Saturday night. I was at a book deal with my wife all day Saturday, and I had like baked in the sun all day, and it's going to be kind of a short week this week. And Beau had some work to do, so we just need to get some stuff done around here. So we just stayed home. Well, I'm laying on my couch around 11:30, and I'm getting text messages from some folks, and they're like, "Hey, Keith Ainsworth got DQ'd for Anthony getting out of the flag stand and handing him some tear-offs." Like, no way. Well, I talked to Anthony quite a bit. We've become pretty good friends this year. I talked to him more this year than I probably have any year. And anyway, so
I think it's freezing cold.
well, I can turn it off if you want to. I'd rather be cold than hot. But anyway, so I'm messaging Anthony like, "Hey, heard you had some interesting things happen tonight." And he's like, "Yeah." He said, I got Keith disqualified on a regular Riverside show. He said, we look at tear-offs as like a safety issue. And so Keith had said, "Hey, I don't have any tear-offs." And so Brennan or somebody from Ainsworth's team hands Anthony the tear-offs, and Anthony gets out of the flag stand and goes and takes it to Keith and gets DQ'd. Or this is what I'm hearing at the time. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crappy. I'd never heard of that before. And but anyway, if it's a rule, whatever. Now the rule that we looked at, and I didn't think to take a picture of the rule on my phone, but basically it was saying that a crew member could not touch the car under a writ, which that's common knowledge, So we knew, we know it's a general rule. We know you can't touch the car under caution, but technically the flagman took Keith the tear off, so it's kind of muddy waters as it is. But anyway, so he gets DQ'd, and then come to find out, about 3 hours ago, I get a message from Anthony, and he screenshot me the message apologizing to Keith, like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't know that was the deal. I forgot it was an ASCS race, and that's my bad." Well, Keith replied that turns out I didn't get disqualified for the tear-off. I got disqualified because I took my helmet off, and this is under a red flag. And you know as well as I do that when the red comes out, especially in the summer months, when it's hot like this, the first thing I want to do is I want to get this helmet off and try to get some air. So I messaged, after I read that, I messaged Lane Whittington, who runs the ASCS regional series that was there this past weekend. I'm like, "Hey, would you want to come on the podcast and you can talk about it?" So you probably don't even know we do a podcast. He said, "No, but yeah, I'll be glad to." So I didn't even know that Brad was talking to him as well. So we've been in touch with Lane. He was at T-ball practice, I think, with his grandson, and I think they're finished up. So we're gonna get to call Lane here in just a second and talk to him about it. See what he's got to say.
Let's make sure my phone's up here. All right. Where you at, Lane? All right, tell you all your friends. All right. Here we go. Did you put yours on speaker when you did this last time?
Yeah. You ain't got to be so close. Hey, let us know if it's too loud or something, if we need to hold the phone a little further away. Just make sure you let us know.
Hello.
Lane.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, this is Brad Bowden.
Hey, Brad, how y'all doing?
We're doing pretty good. We're just going to check real quick, make sure everybody can hear you before we start this off.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we're not high tech yet. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have you connected to the computer. We have to sit here and hold it to our mic.
yeah, we got the phone holding up to the mic. So if y'all can hear him, put something in the comments real quick.
Which they have also got a 30-second. I think we've got like a 15 or 20-second delay or
It's a
something.
little bit of a delay.
So it's a little bit of delay. It might be a second before we hear. But But real quick, Lane, I tell you what, why don't you tell us who you are, what you do,
Yeah.
a little bit about yourself, and then we'll kind of get into it. So, like, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, my name's Lane Whittington. We own a race engine shop here in Denham Springs, Louisiana. And my dad started that business back in 1974 and run it till he couldn't. And now I run the business. My crew and myself and my wife, we run it. It ain't just me by far. But we've been sprint car racing for about 31, maybe 32 years this year. I'm not really sure. And I can promise you this: we didn't go out looking for a race series to buy or run, but because we're racers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason that went down is because Alex Oakes was running the ASCS series down here, and he was ready to get out of it, and we tried really hard to find somebody to buy the series and run it because there's nowhere else to race that, you know, from the Mid-South down. And we couldn't find anybody to buy it. So Jake Brushier and myself, we decided, well, we're just going to have to because we want to race, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we ended up. That's how we ended up with a series. And you know, in the meantime, when we was talking about it, you know, we decided, you know, as racers, we all put out a lot of time. We all put out a lot of money, and some of us just can't afford to race on a national tour. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And as bad as we want to, I know we all want to. We all want to run national tours or Outlaws or something, but we just don't have the time or the money to do that. So what our game plan was is go ahead and buy the series. Let's get it going, and we're gonna try to make, like I said, us being a racer, we're gonna try to give back to the racers. That's our game plan, is give back to the racers. We give out our total purse every night. Everything we get from the tracks, we give back to the racers and to our crew that runs the race. So we make $0, and we're going to until you know, we get it where we want to. You know, hopefully in the next few years we can get this thing up to $3,500, $4,000 to win every night, and you know, and maybe be in a $450 to $500 area at the end of the night, you know, 20th or 21st, just so that, you know, we can all afford to race.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, it's our plan. If we can make this happen, you know, the other series is going to have to step up too, and that's just going to help the sprint car racing all around. You know, from the Mid-South to all the way to the South and the East. You know what I mean? That's our game plan. We want to try to work with Mr. Pete real close because he has this deal sewed up. We're not trying to step on his toes in any way. You know, we want to work together on this deal and keep racing, sprint car racing going. And we can always have somebody where to race. You know, he can run his national series. Guys that want to chase that, do it. And the guys that can't afford to chase it, maybe can run with us. And we can get the pay up to the racers so we can all afford to do what we love, you know?
Yeah. Now, do you at any point race your own series? Like, I know you've been racing for a long time. Do you ever race your own races?
I have not yet. Now, and the reason being is because I don't think you can do both. We hired some people, Jesse Whittington and Casey Hines, and a fellow named Marty. I can't remember his last name. But we've hired some people. We're trying to get the right people in the right places to make this thing work. You know what I mean? I do want to race. I'm not planning on quitting. Now, I have a lot on my plate right now with my son trying to start racing and the business I have and then the racing series, and plus my dad's sick. So right now, I don't have the mindset to get in a race car. You know what I'm saying? I do way more harm than I would good.
I understand.
You know, so I know it's not a good time for me to be in a race car. End of the year, maybe next year, we will. But I'm not planning on getting a car back into a car in one of our own races until we have the right people in the right places that can run the show. You know, because myself and Jake's plan is to just own the series, but not do anything other than, you know, run the business end of it. and at the racetrack we'll just be racers. We won't be, we won't be owners or we won't be trying to run the race, make any choice, nothing like that. We're just going to be racers. That's our game plan.
Right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and just get into, if you don't mind, just get into what happened over the weekend.
Okay, I'll tell you what I can.
Okay. So I guess the big thing that's been talked about the most is the B main situation where Keith Ainsworth was disqualified. I guess we just kind of like more clarification on what the actual reasoning was for him being disqualified.
Okay. I did not make that call. Our official made the call, and from what he told me, it was the guy handed him tear-offs. It didn't have nothing to do with his helmet coming off that I know of. The only thing was, them handing him tear-offs under a closed red. And I don't know if the flag man keeps tear-offs up in the flag stand with him, or if his crew brought them to him. I don't know what the situation was. But I do know about that. I know that's why he got disqualified. I didn't know anything about the disqualification till later on in the night. He almost got disqualified earlier than that because one of his crew. Now, Keith, we never heard a word out of Keith. He's a professional racer. We never heard a bad word out of his mouth. We didn't hear it anyway. No complaining, nothing. But one of his crew members, I don't know who he was. He come up to the table where I was at and went to talking to me about him having to run the B main. They didn't. They qualified number one. He said, I don't know where he qualified, but he said they qualified number one and had to start fourth. And we did a passing points. He wasn't able to pass no cars and make any points, so he ended up in the B main. That situation was a mistake, and I blame myself for that. Simply because we're only 5 races into this series, you know what I mean? We got so many rainouts and stuff the first part of the year. We've only run 5 races. So we're learning. I'm a race car driver. I don't know anything about running a series. But we're trying, we're trying. But I think I blame that whole that deal, B-main deal, on myself because what had happened was we had 33 cars. We was going to have to run a B main, and the track wanted to qualify. Well, we never qualify.
Right.
So when we got there, we talked to the track owner and said that the owner or director, I'm not sure which one it was, but he said he wanted to qualify, and I said, well, I don't think that's a good idea. We shouldn't qualify because we never qualify. It's something new to all of us, Mm-hmm. And he said, well, we've been advertising y'all qualifying all week or so. So I said, yes. Well, I guess we'll try to step into it, see what happens. So I didn't really understand the deal. I knew ASCS, the number one qualifier in that heat, goes to fourth, and second starts pole, and so on. Yeah. I did not know that that they, when they have that deal, they take away the passing points.
Yeah, they just take the fastest qualifier and the winner go into a dash.
Right,
yeah.
Going to a dash. Well, we wasn't going to run a dash.
Right.
We wasn't going to run a dash, and we knew that from the beginning. We wasn't going to run a dash. So, I said the only thing. Now, our commander in chief, Mr. Lonnie Whitley, I called him to try to figure out how to do this the correct way, and I got a hold of him. Now, he did call me back, and I told him what was going on. He said, well, you're screwing up there. He said, you should have 4 heats instead of 5. And he said, you're supposed to take the top 4 out of each heat. And I said, well, that's all good and, great and good, but there's cars on the racetrack right now. We can't change it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I blame myself. If I could have got a hold of Lonnie, we'd have probably did it the correct way. But that's why it went the way it did, But back to him almost getting disqualified first, is one of his crewmen come up to me while I'm at the table, and he's telling me, about it and what for. And then it's kind of funny because he stuck his hand out to shake my hand. He said, "What's your name?" Real nice and polite. I said, "I'm Lane Whitaker." He said, "Okay, well, Lane." He said, "You're a sorry mother effer." You know what I'm saying?
I was trying not to laugh, but you laughed
Well,
first.
you
So.
can't help it. But he told me that, and then he continued to tell me that several times to make sure I heard him.
Yeah.
Well,
Was it you,
I'm a
Brennan?
little guy, and I ain't big on arguing at all. So, I got up, and when I got up, my crew, one of my team guys, set me back down, and that was that.
Yeah.
But Casey come up to him. He said, "Not Casey. I'm sorry. I'm not sure who it was. It was one of the sponsors of the event that was giving out the money." And he said, "Why didn't you just load him up?" I said, "Well, I don't want nobody to go home. You know what I'm saying?" He said, you should never MF an official and cuss an official." I said, "Well, I didn't really see it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really didn't see it like that. I just saw it, the way I saw it. He was pissed off, and he was telling me about it. But that was all went on before before the B main. And the B main, I was on the edge of the track watching it, and old Luke with his 305, he was showing up putting the ass whipping on him for most of the race, with Keith running second. Well, Keith ended up passing him, and I said, "Well, good, they made it into the A, so all that bullshit's over with. They're gonna be happy now." I thought, and then later on, 10 or 15 minutes later, I hear he got DQ. I didn't have a clue of what for.
Mm-hmm.
And then before the feature come up, Casey walked back to my trailer, and I asked him why he got DQ, and he said, "Well, they was giving him tear-offs under the red flag, under a closed red flag." I said, "Oh, well, I didn't know. I guess that's the rule. I know they told us, if we step foot on the ground, once we push the cars out on the racetrack, we're DQ."
Yeah.
I mean, they made that very simple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very clear. I'm sorry, at your driver's meeting. If we step off a four-wheeler at all, or a side by side, you DQ.
And when you say they, you're talking ASCS, right? Not the track.
No, sir. I'm talking about the track.
The track did the drivers meeting.
Yes, sir. Well, the track did along with our guys. I was not at the driver's meeting. I'm not a driver right now, so I was not at the driver's meeting. I was working on my son's car. So, but I do know he made that clear, and because I did hear that part as I was walking back to my trailer, and so I didn't when he talked about the tear-offs. Well, I just figured it was one of his crew brought him tear-offs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A pack of tear-offs. And I said, well, that was a rule. I didn't know the flag man had given it to him, but I mean, like I said, I don't know if the flag man keeps him in the flag stand with him and hands them out, or if one of his crew brought it to him. If the crew brought it to him, told him to hand it to him, I would think that's just like walking out on the track myself. I didn't make the call, but I'm I'm a stand behind. I got to stand behind my guys running it.
Yeah.
And I mean that's our side of the story. I'm sure they have a completely different side of the story, but
well, so Anthony is the flagman, and he's the flagman every week over there, and we all know him pretty well. He usually actually listens to the show live every week, and I talk to him on a pretty regular basis now, and I messaged him. I said, "Well, I heard you're in the news. I've already kind of told this to everybody else, but apparently, Riverside looks at the tear-off situation as kind of like the receiver situation. When somebody's receiver doesn't work, they look at it as a safety issue. Well, they feel the same way about the tear-offs. And so, one of the crew guys for Keith had handed the tear-offs to Anthony because Keith had said, "Hey, I'm out of tear-offs." So it's a common thing there. And so when somebody runs out of tear-offs, they will give somebody tear-offs. And Anthony said today, he's like, it was my screw up because I had totally forgotten and I didn't think about this being an ASCS race and not just a Riverside Greg Hodgett Memorial, because the Greg Hodgett Memorial in the past hasn't been a sanctioned race. It's just a Riverside race.
Right.
And so
we had some issues with that as well. They was wanting to run it their way, and we have the ASCS rules that we have to go by, and they was wanting to change some stuff up, but we really couldn't. What we should have done is never qualified, and that would have been, all this mess would have not happened, if we just had not qualified. But myself and Jake and our leaders, our race directors, we're all going to get together this week, and we're going to figure out what we did wrong, and we're going to try to make it better. We're going to talk with Whitley and make sure we do this thing right. We don't want nobody disqualified. We don't want anybody going home. We want everybody to enjoy themselves when they come to one of our races. We want it to be fun. We want them to get paid. And we want everybody to have a good race. We don't want anybody sent home or nobody mad. But I mean, us racers, we all gonna get in our feelings when we get a bad call. We all pissed off. We want to fight and all. And when we get a good call, we just as quiet as mouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's racing. And all of us has been in those two situations. You know what I mean? But we're trying to have fun. Fun with racing again. And we're trying to get the drivers paid so we can all still continue to race. Just like my son racing, I want him to race as long as he wants to, and my grandson, as long as he wants to. We just
Ronnie, put it back in there.
Sir?
No, he's talking to somebody in the comments. You keep going.
I got you. I know we're going to have some things we got to work out too. We can get this figured out, but we're a bunch of damn race car drivers. We're not,
Yeah.
We're not track promoters. So forgive us, but we're working hard at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, once Casey and Jesse and all, and Marty, once they get their everything lined out and they don't have to ask me questions. And honestly, me being an owner and running the business and everything else, I have a tendency to step up and try to take care of situations. You know what I mean? Because that's what I do. I have to run things.
Yeah.
And I'm probably hurting Casey and Jesse and Marty because I'm trying to help run them when I see a problem, and I need to just keep my business out of it. You know what I'm saying? Keep my nose out of it and let them run it the way it's supposed to be ran. So that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to back out and back in the shadows and just let them run this race. But we're going to go by 100% ASCS rules. They do, ASCS, because we're regional races, they let us have some rules that the nationals guys don't have. Like we don't have to run the
Tethers.
The tethers and stuff like that. We don't, some of that stuff like that's expensive. We don't have to run the 6-volt fuel tanks, and we can run a flat top wing, or we can run a dish wing. Flat top with a wicker bill, and flat top with 1-inch wicker bill is all. Because people that don't have a bunch of money, they got old dish wings laying around, they're able to run them and not just have to sell everything and buy new stuff. You know what I mean? That's what that's about. So we're working on it, but we're really trying to make it happen.
I got two questions, I guess. So the first one is, I know we kind of talked about the format a little bit. So, when you did qualifying and you lined it up, do you guys do a redraw? Because I wasn't close enough to being the redraw when I ran Jackson, so I don't even know if you do a redraw or not.
We never do redraws. We
Is this line straight up off of points?
We draw appeal. We run our heat races strictly off of points, and we line up for the feature. We don't do any redraws. We don't do any time, and that's where the screw up comes in. And I hate to have to keep them out because they're racers, and like I said, we don't want anybody to be sent home, especially over something silly as that. But we all have to play by the same rules too.
And so is that another rule that you guys deviate from on the national tour? Because national tour, you go to the dash. I know you say you don't do a dash, but you also don't do a redraw. So I was just asked a question: why didn't the heat winner and fastest qualifier go to the redraw? That's an ASCS rule. But you just also told us that you guys don't run all of the same rules.
We don't run all the same rules, and we've never run qualifying, and we've never run we've never run the redraw or anything like that. We just don't do that. And after this weekend, we're not going to do it anymore because we want it to go straight, and that messed us up. It messed us up. We didn't know exactly how to do it. like I said, I called Lonnie, and he called me back. But we had cars on the racetrack running heat races when he called me back. You know, he told me that I messed up. You know, and with putting the passing points in with the after the quad thing. But like I said, I didn't know, and I made I made the choice. I made that call to go by passing points, and then Lonnie called me back, told me I screwed up. So I got to eat that. You know what I mean? I got to eat that, and I hate that happen. I mean, the only driver that I know of, or team that I know of that had a problem was Keith and them. But I don't know if he had a problem with it as much as his crew did.
And so I guess that's my last question for Beau. So the disqualification, was it for the tear-offs being handed? Like, did you guys think it was an official that did it? Was there not? It wasn't clear that it was the flag man. Like, because we everybody's dug through the rules and sent us all the rules where it doesn't say anything about you can't hand tear-offs to somebody. Is it because you thought it was a crew guy was on the track? That's what I just little.
Well, see, like I said, I was not there.
Right.
I was on the end of the track where I watched the race when the checkered flag fell. I went to my trailer. But what it was explained to me as somebody got on the track and handing tear-offs.
Yeah.
Now if it's I mean that's kind of greasy. You know what I mean? If a tech man can't go, if the team member can't walk out on the track to give somebody a tear-off, because if they walk on the track they get DQ'd, but you hand it to somebody else to do it that won't get DQ'd. You know what I'm saying? I mean that's kind of a greasy deal there.
Yeah.
I mean that's you take it as you take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, anybody else got?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I've known you for a long time now, and I've always thought you to be a good guy, a fair guy, and just hearing how how the series came to be, like how you've kind of gotten involved, and I appreciate somebody like you stepping up and doing this, because like you said, we all want to race, we all want to have a good time, and I just appreciate I've said on here for months now, because I haven't raced as much as I used to, and I've been going to Riverside, and I've kind of been just walking around, going to going up in the booth or going in the flag stand or going and standing in a corner and just seeing the perspective of officials and like what they're having to do and how they're having to make calls. And so, you just sat here and said, you're 5 races in and you've never done this before. And here you are trying to figure it out. And this is why I tell people all the time, like, it wouldn't be a bad idea if every once in a while drivers went and took a different perspective and done something like that. Because I would not want to go up and I said last week, I wouldn't want to go up in the booth and work like that and try to make calls, because it's hard. And so I applaud you for doing it. I think there needs to be more of it. And it's impossible to have nothing happen. Something's just going to happen.
It is. It's impossible. But like I said, we could try to get our money up so us little guys can still race, at a decent level and get we'll go out there and crash your car, break a motor, whatever. We make a little bit. We go home with something every night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and that's another thing we're doing as far as we don't have any to start money. You know what I mean? Our payout is not like that at all. I'm so tired of to start money,
Amen, brother.
I'm so tired of that. Now, our pay format is if you run 20th, you're gonna get $300. If you run 19th, you're gonna get I'm not sure what it is, $310, $325, something.
It goes up $10 to 400, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what it is. So, and we're trying, like I said, we're trying to get that better. So when I get some sponsors in. Jake and myself, we're working on sponsors. The more sponsors we get, the more we're going to pay out, because that's what we're trying to do, and that leaves it also for nobody wants to go out there and just take the green flag and pull it in the infield, and get there $200 or $300 or $400. You got to race for every position pays better, So that was our idea too. It might not be right, but we're trying to think of the racers.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, as far as being a racer versus this side of it, I really don't know how they get race promoters and flagmen and corner guys. I don't know how them guys stick around for that job.
I
It's a
agree.
thankless job.
I agree.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Lane.
Well, thank y'all for calling me, and
Yeah,
I
bud.
appreciate it. And like I said, we're gonna keep trying to do better. And if anybody sees something we're doing wrong, let us know. We're gonna work on it.
Hey, we'll let you know if you're doing anything wrong on the podcast. I promise. Just stay tuned in.
You got it. Thank
All right,
you.
man.
Thanks,
All
Lane.
right, holler. Bye.
Brennan gonna cuss the man out and then break the rules too on the same race? Golly, dude. Man, you didn't set yourself up. Keith needs to fire you, dude. You need on probation or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ronnie made a point here. It's like 2 rule books trying to coexist in the
Yeah.
same event.
Well, what else happened earlier this year? It was something pretty similar. When you had 2 rule books trying to coexist.
Yeah, it sounds like if I don't know, Clayton can probably correct us, but if he's bringing the ASCS in to bring the show to, because that's a big race. The
Husets.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's big payout, a lot of risk involved in that without having the show coming in with it. So if you're gonna take some of that risk off the table by bringing the Hurricanes in, you kind of need to let go.
Yeah.
Kind of let go of it, or maybe communicate. Like if you're gonna advertise all this stuff in the forefront, you need to let them know, hey, this
I can't
is
say what I want to say.
we're structuring
I
this
know too
different.
much.
What do you mean?
Just keep going. Sorry.
I was just gonna
This
say,
one, Brad,
Brad, you
if,
cannot do that.
if you're gonna
you
read-
cannot say that, and everybody sit there and hear it.
could.
if you're
my
gonna have a
goodness.
different structure than what the structure of the team, the organization you're bringing in, needs to be communicated before you get there on Saturday. It seems like, and it seemed the way he was talking that it wasn't communicated that way. But then again, he could have gone on Facebook and seen it all week. So
Well, apparently we don't know it all.
apparently not.
Apparently not. Apparently we don't know it all. Maybe we'll have to save it for next week. We'll have to talk it through. I
Well,
guess.
again, there's 2 sides to every story.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
So-
know. I don't think he'll care if I say, but the way I understood it is they were coming to, Crawley's Ridge at first. That was they're going to run Friday night, and they needed another show to back that up.
Mhm.
And so they called Clayton wanting
Yeah.
to come run. Well, they already had the Greg
Okay.
Hodnett lined up
Yeah.
for that, and he was like trying to help them out. And he told them in the beginning that they were going to run the event, that it was
Who
going
told
to be
who?
the Greg Hodnett.
I know who told who they were going to run the event.
Clayton said that
Clayton
they were
said-
going to run the event.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Now the same rule applies, like the other way, and I'm glad you said that because it.
That's what I'm saying. I want
'Cause
to
I don't
clarify
wanna-
who said that.
Well, I don't want to think. It sounded kind of off to say that Clayton would bring a series in and then insist they run their series this way. But if they were asking for favors, well, then the people asking for favors needs to accommodate the system that's already in place.
Yeah.
Now, I think that was a pretty good deal. Like if you could mutually
Well, that and
to
all-
bring that series in for that race
that
works
and all
out.
and all the guys that races, they get 2 nights. You know, they
Yeah.
get 2 nights right here, back to back, close to home.
Yeah, but
Both
you got to be as the person coming in asking for the favor. I think that's where the obligation to change your rules or at least discuss a way to make the rules happen. Because I'm on Clayton's side on this one. If
that's
you
where
have your event
Well,
going,
just to be
then
clear,
that's-
I've never heard that tear-offs was a safety issue, and we're gonna hand them out. I've
Look,
never had them handed
here's
to me.
the thing:
but-
if you come into the infield and you're like, I'm out of tear-offs, and then the official runs out to your team and gets them, maybe.
Yeah.
But what throws me off about that is that Brennan took. Sorry, I don't know. I guess I can say Brennan did it because everybody knows Brennan did it.
and he just apologized for it. So, it's Brennan.
So Brennan took the tear-offs to the flag stand and said, "Hey, my driver's out of tear-offs. Can you give these to him?"
Yeah.
That's a team member getting on the track.
I guess you could look at it that way, but I've ran out of tear-offs plenty of times out there because, well, I've pulled them all off at once. I mean, it's happened more than once. I've
Yeah.
done it, but I would drive like this. I had one hand holding this, and I was driving with the right, and so.
I'm about to say
I didn't stop.
you holler at me through the fence. Hey, I'm out of tear-offs. I'm like,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, sorry. You're out of luck. But
Good luck, brother.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, to me, you're kind of getting in muddy waters. But I think from now on, even if a series comes in, maybe you need to clarify that, hey, we consider tear-offs a safety issue.
One thing about it, Ronnie Howard has been racing at Riverside for 26 years? Is that right?
He said it's not common. I saw
And
it.
he said it's not common. He said he's never seen it happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't either.
That's a long time to be racing.
Yeah.
And you know how much Ronnie pays attention to
Yeah.
everything going on.
Yeah, DBC, it's been a long time. DBC says it's been a long time. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard. Have you ever? I mean, have you ever heard of that? Anybody? I've heard of people coming out in open red and they break tear off.
When I talked,
Yeah,
to, when I
open
talked to
red.
Clayton about today, I told him I've never ran into a situation where I ran out before. Like I've always
A closed
put
red's a closed
30
red. I
on.
think that.
I've never
I think that's-
experienced that before, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever seen it happen. I know back in the day, my dad used to tape them onto the side of his arm guard,
Oh, that's smart.
and he would pull them out and just put them on like that. And sometimes they'd even. This is like in the '90s when you could go on the track whenever you wanted. Like Melvin would run out there and run alongside the car, and Dad would grab the tear-offs and put them on under caution and stuff like that. So,
Well, I mean, it's kind of like that's kind of like me sitting under red, and McCarver would, when he was working the backstretch, like, hey, my tire's flat. Can you get some air and air it up for me? My team can't come out here. I guess you could kind of look at it from the same perspective, like, maybe we shouldn't be asking officials to do it, but if you want tear-offs to be a safety issue, then maybe we should clarify that.
I think tear-offs are a safety issue. I just think there's a certain way to address it. I mean, he could have pulled in the infield. Well, no, he couldn't because we've already had that situation this year. You better stop on a red flag at Riverside or you're going to get DQ'd. But once everybody fired back off, he could have pulled in the infield and said what it was. If it's that big a deal, I mean, if it's a safety issue and it's legitimately considered a safety issue, would the track not honor that? I mean, you're risking it. So is it a safety issue or is it
that's
not?
what we're getting into. Is like now you've got ASCS who doesn't condone that, and then you got Riverside who does apparently.
Well,
So
theoretically they do, but Ronnie said he's never seen it happen.
right.
So it's a theory either way. But
Even Ronnie just said the same thing. He said we used to run next to him. I'd like to have seen that. That'd been pretty
I
funny.
remember Melvin doing that, run along next to Dad. Dad would reach out and grab the pack, and then he'd put them
That's
on.
pretty funny. That is pretty funny.
yeah, I think that's pretty muddy waters,
Yeah.
especially after MF and the
Definitely,
race director.
I mean, definitely.
I might have done one or the other. Well, I wouldn't have done one, but I'd have chose which one I was going to do. I wouldn't have done both of them.
It just sounds like it's just something that needs to be clarified.
Yeah.
Moving forward, it needs to be.
Man, there's so many things that need to be clarified, though. We're going to keep on talking about
Well,
this
we're
stuff,
always going to.
and we're going to add this
I told-
list. Like, something's going to be missed, and sometimes you just got to take your butt licking.
I can't remember if it was the podcast or if a conversation, but like, is it Newton's law? Says if it can't happen, it will.
That's right.
So,
yeah, we
like-
talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so like, if it can't happen, it will. We're probably going to run into 100,000 more scenarios that we didn't think of before.
Here's what's going to happen. You're going to put this list out, and whoever's doing the drivers' meeting is going to have to read this whole list of everything, and then the drivers are going to go cry about it at their trailers and post it all on Facebook, and now we got another problem. I mean, it's going to go in circles. Just sometimes things are going to be missed, but like that one's sketchy. It's not like that's a regular. If it happened every single Saturday night at Riverside,
If it was common, but it's
Yeah.
not very common.
but it doesn't. So it's sketchy. Like you're playing with fire. If the risk is there, if Keith is scared for his life and he needs tear-offs, okay, brother, you got to pull in the infield and take your chances on whether you're going to get your spot back or not. But at least you'll be able to finish the race with your life,
Yeah.
and finish with whatever position you have,
Yeah.
which matters in ASCS. So, I don't know.
I think that's a pretty good idea. We should just start taping them on the inside of the arm guard.
Yeah,
If you need to pull them.
I'd never thought of that ever.
Yeah.
Never. Which I don't know. Like,
I don't.
if
think
I ever
we've
lost all my
run
tear-offs,
I mean, since I've been racing with you, you'd
yeah.
have run out.
Well, I have, but usually what happens is I always had problems with my little deal here. It holds the tear-offs on. It would loosen, and then when I'd go to pull one, it would pull them all. So I would lose them. So even if I had the tear-offs, I mean, I would have to
saving
just,
them for
I
the
would have
very
to,
last
I would just have to put the whole pack on, and then just, all right, it's bad enough, and just let them all go. And again, like I couldn't sit there and adjust it in the car, obviously. So I mean,
Brandon's out here
I guess
moving his head around the
I guess
final
I would have to. I guess I would have had to tape some screwdrivers and the pack of tear-offs on there, and then hopefully we had a red and
Drive
sit
with
there
your
and fix it. Yeah. Hopefully we had a red and I could sit there and fix it. So, but hey, you know what we don't have to do in asphalt racing? Tear-offs.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta worry about that. So that's one thing I don't miss.
Well,
is
not
tear-offs.
yet. But I
Not
mean,
yet.
when you get to the big leagues,
Yeah. Well, the only one. Hey,
I'm not gonna be the tear off guy. I'm the left front.
yeah. Hey, the only thing I got to worry about then is the one with the shade. You just got the one tear off. It's like a.
I'm talking about on the windshield. The windshield.
Oh, yeah.
They got tear offs
I
in the
didn't think about
windshield.
that. Yep. Well, that's pretty much all I got. What about you?
I guess I'm just going to address one more thing that I got sent.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
I told y'all about.
Can we say
Clayton.
about who?
Yeah, well, I would say, yeah, Jake Brashears is the other guy. That's,
Oh, okay.
So he's messaging me because I guess he's watching.
Okay.
So like I told you guys that Clayton had told them, yeah, you can come. What you guys need to race, y'all can come race here, but it's going to be my rules or whatever. Well, he said, I just want to address this because I don't know if this is being told to anybody else or anything, but it says,
What's that saying?
We're just trying to win as many races as Ronnie.
Oh,
They're in a battle in there. It looks like.
But-
that's like the comments. That's probably the most comments.
but
we've ever
Jake
had.
responded to that message that statement that I made. He said, I made it clear to Clayton many times during the week that we would be using our rules. He reluctantly agreed. Clayton did tell me that they called this week and said that if they're going to come, it has to be a Haas race. And he didn't want to do it, but he agreed to do it so they could have a race there. But Jake also says to me, which a part I don't believe is true. I'm sorry, Jake, I don't believe this for 1 second. He also wanted to pay $200 to start the main and nothing for anyone who didn't want to make the show. There's no way Clayton would not have paid somebody that didn't make the show. I just don't believe that. And I don't know if that's been told to other people, but I just don't believe that. Sorry, Jake. Don't believe that part of it. Yeah, so I just wanted to address that.
Yeah. Like Clayton paid us for a race we didn't even run one night.
Yeah.
You know,
I just
so
don't
Clayton's
like
been good to us in that scenario. You know, but yeah,
It's like it's hard for me to sit here and talk about it. Like I asked Clayton, do you want to call, tell your side of it?
yeah.
We don't have another hour.
I
and
know
a half.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like it's hard for me to sit here and go back and forth because I've talked to everybody, but like.
Well, do we need to have like a quick Tuesday edition tomorrow night? Is that what we need to do? Because I know we need to go, but like if Clayton wants to give his piece, we can do it too.
I mean, I do think there's like.
Let's just host it.
Like I do. I
I'll talk
don't.
about that after.
Of course, I love Riverside. I'm always gonna,
Yeah.
go to
Well,
battle for
apparently
Riverside. But like,
we kiss Riverside's in
I
every
don't.
week.
Yeah, like, and I don't hate the Haas. I like that they are trying to do something for 360 racing here, but
Yeah.
there feels like there was a bunch of miscommunication going on here and all these things.
Well, it doesn't help too that they clearly he said himself like this is my 5th time. You know,
Yeah.
we're still
Things are
figuring
gonna get
things out.
dropped.
Well, heck, look at what we're dealing with at IHRA. Like the first week, pretty rough. You know, it wasn't just completely smooth, but they got a lot better. You know, the next race,
Yeah.
and they're only going to get better. And I mean, he'll be the same way. You know, they'll get better.
It
They'll
takes
figure it out.
time, and it's a lot. I mean, when you start looking at what it takes to, I'm giving away too many inside signals here, but when you start looking at what it takes to put on a race, it's a ton. There's
Yeah.
so much work
Yeah,
to put on a race.
yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. Unless something changes in my life, I don't want any part of it.
I got something else I want to talk about.
Golly, you're usually the first one to want to go.
Well, I keep getting messages with some
Kim, get your
decent
guy.
points here, so I want to bring it up.
Well,
So-
I mean, I want to too, but
it's real quick. So Cody Miller messaged me, and this is something I've always wondered about and struggled with as well. So we talked about the tear-offs, fearing for your life. If you're scared, you need to pull in.
yeah,
Well, people will stop because they say their belts come undone,
yeah,
and they get to tighten their belts up and get their position back. Well, I
Right.
agree too. If your belts come loose, pull off the track. Because
Right.
I just don't see how anybody's belts ever come loose, in my opinion. I don't.
neither have I.
I don't
Never had
believe
it
it when people say, "Oh, his belt's come undone." I've never bought into that. I never believed it. I think
Unless you're Ashton Torgerson.
something's happening, or their cars something's happened, and they kick the car out of the gear. They cut it off on accident. And they're like, "Oh shit!" And they just unbuckle their belts. And like, "Hey, my belt's come undone," or whatever. So like, I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you feel like, I mean, I think overall, like I agree. If you think the safety issue for tear offs, if you want more tear offs, I think pull off. Or strap some to the side. If your seatbelts come loose, pull off. I even think if a receiver, pull off and get a new battery. Like I don't know. That's just the way I
To me, I'm more of team tear off before I am the receiver. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're going to get
personally.
disqualified. So take your chances
Yeah.
on it. Because you're going to get DQ'd on that stuff.
So where was you going with that? What do you mean?
Well, no,
That was-
Beau had just made the point. Like if you're fearing for your life
Oh,
for
okay,
tear offs,
okay.
pull the F off to get tear
I
off.
didn't
And
know
he
if there was
said,
more to that.
"Well, what about the people that like talk about loosening their belts and they get their spot back?"
I think
I think it still applies. Like
I do too. I
it's
said-
track discretion whether you're getting that or not. I mean,
Yeah.
if you need tear offs, I guess you can't say I need tear offs and then my belt's popped loose too. No, you're gonna have to do that. But like, I don't know. I just
Well, the battery died in my receiver.
too many
the seatbelts go
people.
loose.
I know too many people that talk about run out of tear offs, and
me-
they literally will wipe their. You know, they're literally trying to find whatever way they can.
Yeah.
This gets really murky when we have so many rules about, officials can't touch the car, you can't step off your four-wheeler, but then a track official can come hand you a tear off or something. This gets too murky for me. Like it's just too.
I agree.
It's just too murky. Like I don't think.
Because all you got to do Anthony would. He would do that for anybody that asked. But we've had this conversation that favorites and all this and that. So what gives you?
That's exactly
like,
what I told Anthony like yesterday.
What gives?
I said,
because-
boy, if Keith wasn't already getting, kicked at about being a favorite, he will now.
Yeah, and that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's gonna no matter who it was. It could have been anybody. It could have been somebody that wasn't a local.
Yeah.
But it makes it worse that it is a
And for
local.
anybody goes, I told Clayton the same thing today, that it gets too murky, so you guys don't go calling him saying Brad said this, Brad said that. I've already told Clayton that.
Yeah. Well, we said it 10, 15 minutes ago before late. Like it does. It just kind of muddies the waters. And you want to try to avoid any kind of gray area that you can.
Because it's gonna be. Riverside is the best example of what happens when the gray gets used.
Yeah.
Everybody gets pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, and it happens over and over again. So it's better to just be black and white. Sorry, you're out. You're out. If you need it, pull in. Take your chances on getting your spot back or not. If you got a good enough argument, which I think tear offs is probably a pretty good safety argument. I don't think it's going to win like a seatbelt will or like a belt will, but
Just man up, drive it with one arm, and put one hand up, just like that. I had to do it several times.
I've started many features at Riverside like this right here.
The restarts are the worst part, but like if you ever you could be ninth and you're like, oh thank goodness it's a long way to the guy at 8. Like I can drive with both hands,
holding back on purpose.
Yeah, like I don't really want to catch this guy, but and then you're just hoping like, man, let the track just dry out, whatever. Like because when it's that muddy, hooked up, that just
flinging it.
and you can't wipe it off.
No, that stuff sticks.
It smears. So it's worse if you try to wipe it. So like if you just sit there and try to wipe it, it's way worse. Like I've had to raise my visor and just sit there and just drive out of this little bitty spot like right there. So it's not fun, but I've done it. So
It's part of winning.
Yeah.
I want one more thing, because I keep seeing stuff pop up here. But so I get Beau's opinion on this. So I think it was Caldwell in the stock cars a couple weeks ago. He got past another helmet. He just took his helmet off.
Yeah.
Got past another helmet, and I'm assuming it was under caution. I can think, because they don't have red flags in stock cars.
yeah.
So now it's like I said, we kind of still get murky here. Like, okay, so can we pass helmets? Can we pass tear offs? Like,
Hey, what if there's a radio in the helmet? Somebody can be talking to him in the helmet.
changing radios. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I know if the crew can't touch the car, we maybe shouldn't have officials going up.
Don't
and
say no.
touching the cars.
I could swap mine and nobody'd know it.
No, I mean I know. I'm saying no. Like no, we can't be doing that.
Yeah,
we
okay,
can't be
yeah.
swapping like that because that will happen.
Yeah.
Because if you can do it, somebody's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you got a spotter at Riverside. Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, Brad?
I don't
Are you sure?
I think.
Have we gotten any more messages?
Yeah, don't y'all be getting on Facebook and talking bad about us because we can't fight back now. We've said it all. Y'all want to say something, you've been in the comments. You can say whatever you want
Yeah.
to in the comments. Don't get on Facebook after this saying we're idiots and all these other things.
We've literally.
You can say whatever you want about me.
Yeah, Beau doesn't care.
I do
at
not
all.
care.
I don't mind it, but then I just don't want to battle on Facebook all
I'm
the
gonna
way.
ignore every bit of it.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I'm not down for Facebook battles because I'm trying to work, and when I get into it on Facebook, I'm just sitting there staring at it, waiting for the next comment. I don't want to get into that, so I'm going to try to avoid the Facebook thing. This is where we come to do it. But we
I'll
have
say what you want.
researched.
I'll read it. We'll talk about it in person.
We have
next week. It don't
we have
matter.
researched as much as we can, talked to everybody that we possibly can this week. I think it's probably the best job we've done so far.
Yeah.
So anyway, so
Well, we did one. We did one
like,
better.
Or be like
We
Ronnie
just
Howard
left
and
one
Ron,
person.
just call him and say what you want to say. Because Ronnie will, if he doesn't like something we'll say, he'll text me or call me.
yeah.
Like, dude, like
Or
that.
put it in the
We'll talk
chat.
about it.
What are you talking about?
We'll talk about it. Or put it in the
It's
chat.
in
Like,
the
yeah,
chat.
we'll talk about it.
I gotta say this too. I cannot believe we did not hear from Dale. You and I are usually
Dale
getting
was in there?
Dale's in here.
He was in the chat. Dale
Oh,
Howard.
no, I'm talking about he usually texts us.
He did text me.
He did text
Yeah.
you. Okay, well he left me out.
I
of
meant
it
to
this
say
time.
something about his qualifying performance and how he.
Oh, how he sandbagged.
Yeah. Well, I told him, I said, I respect it. You just gained the system.
It's pretty
so you
smart.
did.
Yeah.
Do you know about that, Beau?
I hadn't heard about it.
So like they were talking about they did qualifying and then
Yeah.
they also did passing points. So Dale looked at his heat race and was like, I can start last in this heat race and get some passing points here, I
Yeah.
believe. So he just you see that they put it on Facebook Live, I believe, and he's doing like a 24-second lap around Riverside. so he could start
What did
last.
you do? Just bump the aisle screw up?
so he could start
Yeah.
last in the heat race and get a bunch of passing points and start on the pole of the feature. So
Hey,
I was like,
hey,
I was like, you gained the system.
the year that I won the flip flop. Yeah, this is before they made the rule about like you can't go a lap down
Yeah.
or whatever. It didn't matter if you wrecked out, whatever. If you finished last, you started pole the next one. Man, that first race, I was like, I'm not passing a soul. I'm just gonna fall clean to the back, and I did. I fell. Apparently there was one guy that had fell out before I did. It was Willingham. I started second the next race. That track took rubber, and I mean we led flag to flag. So I mean you got to play the system, and they fixed that after that. So,
Yeah, I bet they did.
you know, I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do. But anyway, all right. Anything else?
Good.
We good?
We got to let her eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We got to do that. Well, guys, we appreciate it. For the third time, we're supposed to race this weekend.
Yeah.
Anderson, South Carolina. Yep. I don't know. I'm getting to it.
All right.
Yeah, we're supposed to race Anderson, South Carolina in the late mall this week. Hopefully, we don't get rained out again.
Rain is in the forecast, but
Hey, listen.
I stopped looking
love-
because it's bad luck.
I love the new venture here that we're doing. I've enjoyed both races I've run so far, but these guys are not shy about canceling a race on a Tuesday. They will. If there's a chance of rain on the
And
weekend,
They've
they're
been good
canceling.
calls both times.
Yeah,
it's been
both
good
times.
calls, so.
Both times it worked out in their favor.
Right now it's 15% chance.
15%, so it's actually been going down. So that's a good sign. But so anyway, we're supposed to head to South Carolina this week. Run the late model. Make sure you go to YouTube, follow IHRA Stock Cars. You can watch the race live for free on there. You can watch it on Amazon Prime for free. Just go to Speed Sport 1. Make sure you got your cleaning supplies, your oil for your vehicles. Make sure you go to drivenracingoil.com. Use that discount code Hanks10, HANKS10. Make sure you use it. Get that 10%. Anything else? Like Corey Haim said, what did he say? Your guy, your new
Said-
guy. What did he say?
I kind of disregarded the engine and the tires, and I just let her
He
eat.
just let her eat. Corey Haim, he just let her eat, boy. All right, guys, we appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.